All right, listen up, Buttercups. There is a vibe shift happening in the United States of America. Elon Musk got his ass handed to him in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. He's been obsessed with it to the tune of over $20 million, embarrassing himself in safe spaces like Fox and Friends. And meanwhile, Democrats want to know that people give a damn. And Cory Booker proved just that. He broke a record, 25 hours on the Senate floor. And here's a little clip of Booker popping off and fighting for this country.
And now it's our generation. We have to redeem the dream. We have to excite people again. He, in the highest office of our land, wants to divide us against ourselves, wants to make us afraid, wants to make us fear so much that we're willing to violate people's fundamental rights. We're willing to go after the speech on college campuses. We're willing to go after law firms, go after the freedom of the press. Don't let him do that. Don't become like him. Be an American that says, I look to the future and I'm excited. Yes, things are tough right now. They're hard, they're scary, they're hurting, but we can overcome this. Our American history, if it's nothing else, American history, if it's nothing else, it is a perpetual testimony to the achievement of impossible things against impossible odds. We are a nation that is great, not because of the people that are trying to whitewash our history. To remove great people, Native Americans, black people, and women from our military websites. I don't want a Disneyfication of our history. I don't want to whitewash history. I don't want to homogenize history. Tell me the wretched truth about America, because that speaks to our greatness. And so what do I want to people to do? It starts with us, man, and you're doing it. I've seen courage of my colleagues. We're doing it, but we have to do more, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to be a politician that's going to say, we are going to do more for you. I'm going to be a politician. I'm going to be a leader that demands more from America.
Will the senator yield for one last question?
I yield for a question while
Okay, so several things to unpack there. Number one, good on you, Cory Booker. That is what we need. We need more of that, please. We need to know that people give a damn and are seeing exactly what we're seeing, because at the epicenter of these MAGA men, this micro penis parade, is they are bullying law firms. They will not legislate on that floor. He does these chicken shit show and tell executive orders, and then has Kid Rock dressed like Evel Knievel standing next to him when he does it. It is flea market, riffraff, knick-knack, white trash supremacy. MAGA is white trash supremacy, and everybody feels it. Everybody knows it. Cory Booker is the man of the moment right now on the foothills of Elon Musk getting his ass beat. Good on Cory Booker. I love it. Inject that shit in my veins.
The great thing about this is, with the Trump administration, we already know, based on his first term, he doesn't give a shit about the National Archives. We know that he's cut all transparencies within agencies. This is recorded for the annals of history. Our future generations will see this and know that there were people and leaders willing to stand up, and that's so important right now.
All right, let's listen next to Cory Booker on why he did this, why he broke this record.
To be candid, Strom Thurmond's record always kind of just really irked me, that he would be the longest speech, that the longest speech on our great Senate floor was someone who was trying to stop people like me from being in the Senate. So to surpass that was something I didn't know if we could do, but it was something that was really, as we got closer, became more and more important to me.
Okay, so think about that. Strom Thurmond spoke against the Civil Rights Act and held the record for 24 hours of speaking on the Senate floor. And right now, you've got the micro penis parade in the Trump administration that are dismantling all of Black history, whitewashing it because it hurts their feelings, because they're whining little titty babies that are in a constant and perpetual state of victimhood. And this is personal. This is personal to Cory Booker, who is an African-American senator. It's personal to women who 50 years ago, when I was born, I would not have been able to have a credit card in my name. And I am not going to forget about all of the work and all of the activists before us that brought us to this moment. Because I'll tell you what, I know that America is a place that can be criticized a lot. But one thing that I have always believed in, and I need to continue to believe about this country, is the idea of hope. When I saw that Barack Obama could win after our horrible history with race. And when I see that Senator Booker can stand on that Senate floor for 25 hours, I believe in the hope and the idea that we are striving towards equality. And that means everybody. That means abandoning no one. And that's why this speech is so important, because he, not on his watch, was some racist going to hold the record for 24 hours. And now we have this rising up of racism again in this country, and they are untethered and they are horrible and they are Nazis. And I just cannot say enough how seeing a leader like Senator Booker do that, it makes me realize we're all still here and we're all still going to fight for this country, warts and all. We're all still going to do this.
They always say the problem with history is if you don't know it, it will repeat itself. And I think MAGA tries to keep history away from people, and they want to minimize women, Black people, brown people, immigrants, all of their contributions, because they are so insecure that they want it to be a white men controlled world. And they're doing it. They've got Elon Musk doing, Sig Heil's inauguration. You've got the rise of the Proud Boys. It's unbelievable how white supremacy is back, how misogyny is being celebrated at the White House. So good on Cory Booker. We needed this. We needed to see it.
We did. And, Pumps, you've said in previous episodes, and I think that this is so true every time you say it, you see all of these parents at all of these school board meetings worried about their children learning about history. And you always say, it's history. Mm-hmm. It might be painful to learn, but that's a part of the human experience. You have to learn about what our species, what our country, how people were treated. There has to be an effort to try to right wrongs. We have to believe in that. And here is a video that Cory Booker put out this morning on leadership.
Perhaps one of the greatest leadership lessons there is that real leaders don't lecture you on how great they are. They remind you how great we are and how great we can be together. Real leaders don't spend all their time pointing fingers of blame. They remind us that we share collective responsibility to make things better. Real leaders don't stand up and say, only I can lead you, follow me. Real leaders remind us that we are the leaders that we need. We are a nation that's great not because of someone who held the Oval Office. We have had great ones. But we are here because of all those leaders who reminded us of our responsibility, our capability, who reminded us that the power of the people is greater than the people in power. They were labor leaders. They were suffrage leaders. They were civil rights leaders who didn't just speak truth to power. They spoke truth to us. This is a moment that we need real leadership to remind us that this is our nation, that we can heal, that we can help, and most of all, in times like this, that we must all lead out of the darkness.
And in echoing what Senator Booker is saying, the most important thing that we all need to participate in right now is the First Amendment. I am not going to be threatened when I sit behind this microphone to speak the truth. And every single day when Pumps and I prepare for these IHIP news episodes, we go immediately to ground news. They cut through all the BS. They tell you what the right's saying. They tell you what the left is saying. They recently exposed how the right wing was saying that the Atlantic story was a hoax, and that's over the whole Signal Gate. And it shows you the percentages of right-wing media that report on it, the percentages of left-wing media that report on it. It helps us stay better informed, better citizens, so that we can uphold our First Amendment rights and not cede them.
What's also great about ground news is that they tell you that the articles you're reading, what is fact-based? How high is the factuality in these articles? Because what you realize when you read these is how many articles are not factual.
And so support our show by supporting our sponsors. Support our friends at Ground News. All you have to do is to join us. Go to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off Ground News Vantage Plan that Pumps and I use every day. They're subscriber funded, and our favorite part is that they are female founded. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work. That's ground, GROUND news.com/IHIP, IHIP. We're pinning the link right below in our show notes. Okay, let's get back to Senator Booker and this perfect tweet that sums it up. Kylie, put this up. Okay, we have Covey_93, some Twitter user that popped up in my algorithm, and he says, Cory Booker has been on the Senate floor longer than Vance was in Greenland. And I think, you know what? That is a great comparison. That shows you that we have got to put the work in. We have got to have conviction. We have got to have a spine. We've got to quit gaslighting, grandstanding around Greenland, acting like a fucking nut with eyeliner on like J.D. Vance does. It's pathetic.
J.D. Vance in Greenland shit the bed so hard. He's trying to act like it never happened. Cory Booker, 25 hours. That is a long time. And he did not go to the bathroom because it matters. This democracy matters. Fighting fascism matters. And I hope that this creates a groundswell, both in constituents and leaders, to stand up to tyranny.
Listen, this is a vibe shift, you guys. A vibe shift is happening. It started when Tim Walz started belittling Elon Musk about his stock prices. And Elon Musk ran to a safe space, Fox and Friends, to talk about how mean he thought Tim Walz was. And meanwhile, he's running around with a chainsaw on drugs, acting like a nut. And then Supreme Court, Wisconsin, good on that gal for winning. And Cory Booker spoke to this because the one thing MAGA keeps beating is all this DEI stuff. That's why we joke around and say we're America's top DEI podcast, because we're females and there's not a lot of female podcasters in this space. It's typically ruled by white men. And so please support our show, subscribe to our show, and Cory Booker, you're welcome on our podcast anytime. We've had him on before. He is the man of the hour. He is the man of the moment. And think about that. As Pump said, 25 hours. He gives a damn. Let's keep building on this. Let's fight for this country, warts and all. It's ours. It's the only country we have. And let's not give it over to the fucking micro penis parade, because I have had it with these titty baby whiners trying to take rights away from people. It is abhorrent. It is disgusting. And they are such wimps. They're just terrible wimps. Subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million, and we'll see you all later.